Hey guys, this is a recap of The Queen's Court, episode 6, Pool for Love. So, we're back in the Queen's Castle and the guys are staying over. All 11 guys are staying over in this home. It looks big, but I don't know how all these men gonna fit in this space, okay? And you know our queens are not sharing rooms, okay? So Nivea, she is flirting and she's vibing with Mac. And Ty, he sees that and he knows he has to step up his game a little bit, you know. He has been getting so many critiques of it all just being physical attraction, but no deeper level connection. So he knows he needs to step up his game. And we, of course, are not going to see that, you know. And it's kind of disappointing that, you know, so much physical chemistry is going to waste because they can't connect on a deeper level. How hard is it to talk, guys? How hard is it to talk? But I'm going to tell you why it's hard for them to talk a little bit later. So Gatsby, of course, he pulls Tamar and gives her a book of black art. And, you know, Tamar, she appreciates it because her love language is receiving gifts. But I don't know about her receiving gifts from Gatsby. Like, I feel like, you know, this is being pulled for so long. Like, there's obvious that there's a lot of guys still left in this house that don't truly have a real connection with the ladies. And I feel like the staff, the producers could have got much better group of men to really go and try to win over these ladies' hearts. Like, I want to see so many multiple connections that the girls have a much more difficult time in picking who they want to be with, because I feel like there's obvious front runners. There's obvious front runner. Like, for each girl, there's at least one top guy, and the rest is like, you're just, you know, spending time just to spend time for the show. So I feel like, you know, even though they're in Atlanta and it's hard to get a group of guys together who's available to go on a dating show and who are truly interested in dating and getting to know our queens, I feel like these women didn't have enough to choose from, because come on. So now Michael, he is talking to Evelyn and he's letting her know that he is opening up and focusing on his relationship with her. And I'm like, Michael, you don't have a chance with Evelyn. Like, it's so, like, these guys should see the situation. The ladies see the situation. It doesn't take long to know that the sun shines, okay? So I feel like this is just a part of the whole show, the whole gimmick of the show. But I am not concerned with Michael and Evelyn being a thing. Even though we know the result, these people should see, like, okay, where they stand. Come on. So Ty, he pulls Nivea, finally, he pulls her to the side and says to her that he wants to know more about her past the superficial. And I'm like, duh, y'all already said that. And then he says that he sees us with her. Okay, past that. Come on. Like, give us something more. Like, I feel like we don't know much about Ty. I feel like all we get between those two is just flirting and it's very surface. But I don't really know much about Ty. I don't know much about the other guys either as well. I feel like the show overall fails to get in more deep and us getting to know these guys and their background and what they're like outside of this. Because we see, like, for the front runners, yes, like, we know a little bit about Levon, we know a little bit about Puff. Gatsby, you know, he's just, you know, high energy. You get to know him personality-wise. But with these other guys, you don't really get so deep to know them much. So it's like, this is a conversation, but where is it going to go? And the thing is that Nivea, she's in this loop right now that she keeps falling for the physical attraction and giving him more opportunities, but he hasn't shown himself yet any deeper than that. Like, come on. I feel like, I wonder how long the time frame is in this filming of this, because this could all be like in a week or 2 weeks or so, and they're still like in the, okay, let's see this out, and that could take some time, and I can understand that. That's for sure. So now it's time for the guys to get settled in. So as ladies call it a night, the guys, they getting together in this small room. Remember, they're all sleeping in under one roof, and they only get a room like downstairs basement type of vibes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Not even no bunk beds, no nothing, just little, at least, okay. What's worse, bunk beds or being in a twin bed? These grown big old men in a twin bed, okay? So it's the next day, and in the morning, Michael brings a breakfast plate for Evelyn. And this is him showing effort. And I'm like, these guys gotta do these things to stand out amongst the men. But what was weird and interesting on the breakfast plate is that you have all these fruits. And then I saw an avocado. And I thought that was just odd. That's just odd. Like, okay, avocado, I think it is considered a fruit. But to bring it on a fruit plate, that's quite unusual, and I never seen that before. Like, what do you, I don't know, no toast? No eggs? Like, sir, all you did was probably took like a production plate from downstairs, from the craft table, and brought it up to Evelyn. I don't know. I would believe it more if we saw him actually chopping each of these fruits and plating them on the plate like that, because it looked too nice. Unless he ordered it and had it delivered and then undo the saran wrap and present it to Evelyn. But I guess. But I personally would preferred a breakfast plate consisting eggs, bacon, toast, hash brown, coffee, juice. Am I being a little bit greedy? No. Maybe some chocolate croissants, some donuts, some other brown breads, and maybe some fruits, some grapes, some cantaloupe, a slice of melons. Now that would be effort. That would be sticking out from the crowd of men, okay? So anywho, the Pete's are in the building, and they let them know that they're having a housewarming pool party. Okay, so everyone's going to be outside the house. Everyone was inside, now they got to be outside. So Levon and Evelyn, they have a talk about the distance, and he wants to make it work with Evelyn. Like, Levon, he is too chill, like super chill. He says he's gonna make the time, and he sees himself, visiting her in Cali and her coming to Atlanta. So he is very serious about committing, and he is one of the very few guys who actually formulates a plan of action after doing this show. And that's a good sign, because that means he's invested, So we then see Ty, and Ty, he tells Nivea that he learned to cook from his grandpa. And I thought, okay, you trying to get in on that grandparents connection with Nivea that Mac has. But it was kind of cut quite short. Like, he was being very short about it, and you can tell that Nivea was annoyed because they're supposed to connect. And he kind of misses the sign and the signal from her going to the pool as her trying to pull him to have alone time, because he's out here making food for everybody. And he is just missing it to the point that even the guys are mentioning, like, bro, you missed your chance, and he's just focusing on the food. But I'm so curious what his food gives, because he is so serious about seasoning the meats and getting everything ready for the pool party barbecue situation, okay? So remember, guys, there's 11 men in this home. So I feel like they should not be wasting the opportunity, especially if Nivea is setting you up to have alone time with her. Because, she's on these other men saying that, they got to pull her. But she's like setting him up a little bit to try to give him a chance. Like, she wants this to work. Okay. So Nivea, she goes over to the pool and she's flirting with Travis over by the pool, while Ty is just focused on the food prep. And I'm like, gosh. Oh my gosh. So JR and Tamar try to have a moment, but Gatsby cuts in, even though the guys made it a rule to not interrupt or kill a vibe. And Gatsby, he pulls Tamar. He asks Tamar what scares her about him, And I feel like, okay, Gatsby, you see what's going on. You keen on the situation, so you're trying to get to the bottom of this. And for her, it's not really what scares her, because she says she's never scared. Our girl Tamar is never scared. For her, it's more of a concern that Gatsby always feel the need to be the life of the party, and that can be too much for her, which is understandable and reasonable. We then jump scene and we see Mac making it a point to check on our girl Nivea, giving her compliments, pulling her in. And, this kind of, her getting this from Mac actually makes her mad at Ty, because she really has a strong attraction towards Ty, and she wants Ty to do what Mac is doing. Okay, so Ty, picks up Nivea being upset, and he has to talk with Nivea, and I feel like we're just getting words and no action, because he pretty much says the same thing he already said to her, and it's not going anywhere. I'm like, if a guy likes you, his focus is not feeding the whole crew in the house. Unlike him, Mac, he always seems to find Nivea without her even having to seek for him. And, you could tell Nivea, that sets Nivea off, because, the only reason she's upset with Ty is because she's getting what she would like from Mac, but she wants it to be from Ty, okay? So Ty and Nivea hug it out, and it's just the physical attraction again. It's giving, Ty is being forgiven already. So, Ty, he says his eyes he's focused on this relationship, but my eyes are on him. I'm like, that's like a vicious circle, like over and over again, rinse and repeat. I will not be shocked if this happens again, where Miss Nivea is upset with Ty over the same old issue. So Levon, he talks to Tamar talks to Levon, and Levon, he tells her that he doesn't care about these other guys trying to talk to Evelyn. It does not bother him at all, because they're all safe. Like, these guys are not it. And Levon sees that. And I feel like Levon needs competition. I feel like it just speaks to the production of this show. I feel like if they have found more serious men to give Levon a run for his money, I feel like, we will see a little bit more out of Levon, because he is so chill. I don't know if they have like conversations off camera that we don't get to see, but he is so chill. But that Evelyn, she liked him from the jump. Like, I can always reflect back to the photo shoot where she was just cheesing, taking a photo with Levon, and then just getting the reaffirmation from her daughter saying that she wants Evelyn to have a cheesy romantic love. Girl, this is it. So for now, for Levon saying that, all these other guys are safe, he doesn't see no competition, I'm like, okay, this is the third strike. He secured his spot. I don't see no other man for Evelyn, and it's so clear in this episode, okay? So Evelyn is talking to Michael, and Michael tells she tells him that her daughter didn't really see them together, but she still has the jury out on him. So she still wants to give it some time and let it be like a slow burn. And I'm like, Evelyn, meanwhile, we know you are secure and set with Levon. And, I'm happy about that, because from the jump, when Michael said that he is friends with all his exes, I thought red flag alert. He was scratched off my list. So he has to go. And these girls don't even know. So Tamar talks to JR, and I'm like, finally, can we get the Tamar and JR show? Because I was kind of missing that situation. Usually JR, he's much more like already in the jump, getting his girl. But in this scene, we see JR, and he's just confident, and he tells that to Tamar that he is just secure. He don't see no competition, or pretty much. And Tamar doesn't like that, because JR thinks he already got her. Like, he already got it, and it doesn't seem like he has to put in much more effort into the situation. So Tamar, she brings up Gatsby to kind of, ignite some jealousy, to get things started, to make this guy feel he's not safe. So she tells him that, Gatsby doesn't feel like that. Gatsby feel like he has just as much of a chance, if not more than you do, okay? So I do think that she has to do this to kind of do a push and pull situation with him, because I would really like to see how this man operates, because this man feels like he is safe, like he's just coasting, and you want a guy to put in his effort. You really want to see him kind of declare, his spot and win you over, not feel like he already got it. Like, nah, we're not doing that. So Evelyn has a talk with Puff, and they discuss the age difference and how it can be different lifestyles. And Puff, he makes it clear that he is happy to communicate and reassure her that he is past that fast lifestyle and is ready. And he is ready. And remember, Puff, according to Evelyn's daughter, is number 2 in the guy that she likes. Like, he's the number 2 guy. So it's good that, you see Evelyn, she's still, going through things with Puff and having these talks with Puff to really assess, like, what she wants at the end of the day. Because, Puff is quite young. There's an age difference. But, to hear him reassure her, to say that, he's past that fast lifestyle, it shows that, he's interested to actually making this work. So, interestingly enough, guys, we get a confessional with Mac and Ty. And I'm like, they get along they get along so well. Like, they are either very mature and do not see each other as competition, or one of them is just here for a good time. Because I could never see Gatsby and JR kikiing in a confessional while they are out here for the same girl, which is Tamar. So Mac and Ty, they are like bros, and they kind of understand that they are bros, and they want to leave it up to Nivea to make it a choice of who she wants. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You both have to make the choice. Like, Nivea and the guy both have to want each other and want to pursue this. It cannot just be one-sided and just be Nivea carrying this whole thing. Oh my God. And for the fact that these guys are okay with that, like, as if that, it doesn't matter who she picks, but at the end of the day, these two will still have a friendship with each other. These guys are just here for a good time. I don't want Nivea with none of these guys. None of these guys are good enough for her. So Gerard, he tries to get his moment with Tamar, but it doesn't land, guys, and it's a bit awkward. Even though he was put on the spot after Tamar caught him staring at her hard, Gerard should have at least been willing to pull Tamar off to the side in this pool party, because they don't have any moments together in this pool party, okay? So the pool party heads inside the house after the thunderstorm, and now all the guys are in the house, and it's just a hype frat party with Gatsby being the head charge of the operation. And Gatsby, he's making fun of Evelyn, saying that Evelyn is talking to all these guys like it's musical chairs. And Evelyn is not happy about that, and Evelyn calls him out, saying that you here riling up all the guys, you should be focusing on your girl. And everyone's like, ooh. So Evelyn, she leaves, and Robert pulls her, and they're trying to have a moment, and Robert, he's saying all the smooth lines. I feel like he is such a talker, and I feel like, I don't know if it's real. Like, it's like, it's nice, but you don't know if it's real. And he just knows exactly what to say. But I'm kind of happy Travis interrupts this moment, and he tries to pull Evelyn to the side, but Evelyn was so confused with that, and she was like, no. And she says she's not dodging Travis, but she's not giving him much time. But I'm kind of happy that Travis put a stop to that situation with Robert, because I feel like Robert was just telling Evelyn some lines. So Evelyn, she is not really interested into talking to Travis, and it's time up. It's time to go to bed and rest up. So the night's over. It's too late. You didn't pick the right moment. Okay, so it's the next day, and Holly comes in to check in on the girls and have girl chat. So Nivea, she says that how she's usually the initiator with the men, and she doesn't want to do that or be like that. She wants Ty, and she puts emphasis on Ty. She wants Ty to pursue her, but he doesn't seem to be doing so, and if anything, he is pulling back. And I'm like, girl, I'm glad you see this, because I do not want you to be caught up in a physical attraction and not get the full experience of making deeper connections in that, okay? So for Evelyn brings up that Travis doesn't know when to jump in a situation, and he's a bit awkward, a little bit socially awkward. Now with Tamar, she brings up how Gerard is a super ? Super awkward, and the girls just don't know. Now with Nivea, she brings up at the end of this girl chat how she sees Tariq more as a friend and nothing much more than that. So I just thought that, oh wow, these girls, this was not a good night. This was not a good night at all. So the girls, they got to invite 3 men to the elimination dinner party. And it is Gerard, Tariq, and Travis. All of them could go, honestly. All of them could go because the girls don't even want them. So Travis, he does want Evelyn, but I don't think he has a good chance because he's not fitting into what Evelyn needs. Tariq, you don't know. Tariq, he's just a friend. He's just a homie. He's here for a good time. We see right through this. Let's not even bother. And Gerard, he's not able to open up yet. He's newly retired, so he's now getting into the dating scene. So I don't think he's ready right now for something as serious. I think he's, if anything, he should just put his foot into the water, but that's about it. So Tamar, she talks to Gerard, and Gerard, he's a bit closed off in a group setting, okay? And he seemed not checked in the situation. And Tamar, when she brings that up, he says that he feels like Tamar got her attention towards other men. And he kind of puts the blame on Tamar. And what he wants is to be thought of and for Tamar to pursue him. And I'm like, sir, are you truly a gentleman? Because you should be pursuing the lady, if anything, okay? And you have yet to do that. Maybe he just doesn't know how to. Like I said before, he may be, needs to test the water first before getting into anything serious, So Tamar, she walks off, and rightfully so, because Gatsby and JR, they put in the work. And Gerard, he just wants Tamar to put in the work. And that's not how you treat a queen, okay? So she walks off and she says, nope, not doing this. Rightfully so. Evelyn and Travis, they have a talk. And Evelyn, she tells Travis that her life is very, very public. And that Travis, she's worried that he may not be able to handle that. And poor thing is already sweating. And I'm like, oh, if he's sweating under these conditions, imagine like with everyone's eyes on them. So Travis may not be ready for a relationship with a girl like Evelyn. He says he is, but I don't know. Poor thing was already sweating bullets, okay? So Tariq and Nivea have a talk. And, Tariq is always going to give good laughs, good vibes. But, he wants to keep trying to prove to her his interest in her. And I just feel like we have yet to see this. But, because he's so hype and optimistic about it and positive about it, Nivea, she is open to it. And I'm like, girl, you don't have to open up yourself to all these energies. If they're not giving what they're supposed to give, they can be dropped just like that, okay? And that's what we need to do. We need to drop some of these men. So Travis, he talks to Nivea, and guys, they are so similar, and I can see how they connect and vibe with each other because their conversation is so effortless. But I don't see it as a romantic connection, especially because he's very much interested in Evelyn. But, it's interesting that Travis, he mentions in his confessionals that he wished Evelyn was like Nivea and was more upfront and not have to do these games. But I wonder if he sought out to, to truly open up to Nivea, if they could have had a thing. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I would have loved to see them, at least try to see if there's anything more than a friendship level, especially since they connect so well with each other. Okay, and he's getting more comfortable around her too. Like, he's pulling down his guard. Now, guys, the awkwardness with Tariq and Tamar. Oh my God. Tariq, I feel like Tariq was drinking too much, okay? So Tariq, he jumbled his words, saying that Tamar cares about money and that money is everything. And you could see the look on Tamar's face. Her face just checked out, and Tariq, he sees it. At least Tariq, he has social awareness, so he's able to see like the body language of it all. So he sees it, and Tamar is just not having a good night, and she excused herself, rightfully so, because how are you gonna say that on television, like, and put out this narrative about Tamar? It could be true, because the way she said it, it was easy to be misconstrued. But I think that she didn't like that was out there, because she doesn't want that narrative out there in the media. Because I feel like everyone, when they talk about Tamar, they talk about Tamar having like a poor attitude, or she's this, she's that, and she doesn't want that narrative out there. So I can see how she feels like that was inappropriate on her side. But I can understand Tariq, after going through a couple of drinks, that he misspoke. And I felt like it didn't have to cut off like that. But he was wise enough to stop at that moment and realize that she did not like what he was saying. And that's good, because some people don't understand how to do that. So dinner tonight, the elimination dinner, is inside the house because there's rain outside. And I'm like, I wonder if these guys are listening, because they're all in one roof. And I wonder if they're going to be, I think they're still going to be under one roof for some time. So I'm pretty sure they're listening to what's going on, what's the tea, what's the conversation. So Tamar, she says before the guys come in for the elimination dinner that Tariq was a jerk to her, and that these girls are, and the girls were just shocked to what he said, because I feel like, you hear Tamar's side of it, so the girls are shocked that he even say that, oh, she's all about money, and she's like materialistic, and this narrative is not good to have out there. So the girls are shocked. But I feel like that was a bit harsh to do that to Tariq, because I do feel like he misspoke, but I can understand. So the guys, they come in, the ladies have their time to address each guys. So Evelyn, she addressed Travis and says that how Travis is an amazing guy and a dream to be around. And I'm like, Evelyn, really? Are you going to lie to this man's face? Because I know you just said that he's awkward, like socially awkward, and not a dream to be around. Like, he doesn't know when to jump into a situation, into a conversation. So I feel like that was contradictory, but she was being nice to him and everything. She says her concerns about him is how he would deal with the scrutiny of the public eye. And he said in that moment that he could handle it, and he's good. So he is safe. And I'm like, wow. He was surprised. I thought he was gonna go home. I thought this was his last night. That this was it, and he was ready to go home. But he is happy, and he drinks his water, and he's able to chill and relax. Now, surprisingly, Nivea is the one to address Gerard, and she says that she didn't get to know him so much. But in the mixture, she was able to understand and get to know him a little bit. And she knows that he is slow to let people in. And then she lets him know that the ladies feel like that this was his time for him to go. Like, this was it. And he's kind of looking over to Tamar, wondering if Tamar is going to say something to him. But Tamar does not address him at all. So he is eliminated, and Tamar gave him nothing. She gave him dust. And she didn't even make eye contact with him. I'm like, ooh, dang. But okay, moving on. Tamar, she's the one to address Tariq. And you could tell the look on Tariq's face was like, oh, it was like, oh, okay. Because you know what she's gonna say. Tamar, she addressed the comment he made was hurtful and can show what he is capable of. I'm like, oh, I feel like, you know, if this is the excuse you want to use against Tariq, okay. But to suggest that what he's capable of, like, you're insinuating something about him, like you thought he was insinuating something about you. So I thought that was a bit harsh, Tay. And Tariq is eliminated, but he puts in, you know, his comments in. He said he feels like there was a loss in communication, that he thought this is what was said, and that was some times ago. So Tamar took it as him doubling down on his statement, which she thought that, you know, that doesn't help the situation. If anything, that was his moment to apologize to her. But I feel like he had to defend himself a little bit. But it was his time to go home anyway, so I'm not mad about it, because he said he was here for Nivea, but I felt like it was just more of a friendship. So it was, yes, indeed, his time to go home. So that is the recap of this episode. I'm excited to do the recap for the next following episode coming up, because the group is about to play some games. Never, ever. So I look forward to that. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this recap. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.